Tonight we are playing Broken Tales by World Anvil. This is a D6 system. It's a D6 system where it uses descriptors, and I kind of say it's like a reverse year zero engine. You want to roll so many D6s, and anything that doesn't come up a 1 is a success. You want so many successes to succeed. Tonight we are doing a special holiday themed scenario called Nicholas's Pledge, and yeah, stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a great crew tonight. Hey everyone, welcome to Victory Condition Gaming. My name is Doug. Today on the show, we're playing Broken Tales. This is from World Anvil, and they are an Italian studio, and they've done some really cool, really rules light. They've used this system for a few games. They've got this one called Broken Tales. They've got another game called Dead Air Seasons, which was Emmy nominated this year. And then they've also got a fantasy one that's coming out. So they've used this D6 system called Mono to Echo. Like I said, it's kind of like a reverse year zero engine where you use descriptors to give you so many successes, and then if you need additional successes, you're going to roll D6s. And then as long as your sixes don't come up with any ones, your roll succeeds, and you get that many successes for each die that you rolled. We'll explain it as we go too. It's really rules light, and yeah, I'm excited to feature it on the show. We did a session of it, I think a couple of years ago at this point, around the Little Red Riding Hood fairy tale. Basically, with this setting, it takes fairy tales and kind of flips them upside down, where the players are actually playing like the villains, the bad guys in fairy tales. The bad guys are kind of misunderstood, and we learn that they kind of form their own society, and they get sent out, and they get sent to all these different fairy tale adventures, and you kind of realize that maybe some of the good guys aren't really all that good. And yeah, it's kind of a neat, cool take, and the art is beautiful in this book, and they've got a couple other books that are out, and it's super fun. I'm excited to play it tonight. Tonight we're playing Nicholas's Pledge. This is in the Lost Tales book, I believe, which I don't believe is out. It should be going to backers here shortly, but we're playing off the PDF, and I thought it'd be fun to just kind of play it as a holiday and Christmas scenario for the show. So whatever you celebrate this holiday season, wish you a very wonderful time and pleasant holidays over these next few months and weeks. But yeah, let's. Also, I'll say if you like our actual plays, hit that like button down below. If you're coming across the channel for the very first time, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Love it to build the community here on YouTube and showcase all sorts of really cool games and awesome artists and designers and publishers. With that being said, let's bring on our players for this show. We've got 3 amazing cast members tonight. Let's bring them on stage and show them off. Hey, everyone. Thanks for coming on and playing Broken Tales tonight. Have you ever played this game yet? Or are all 3 of you new at this game?
We're noobs.
Brand new.
Nice. Had you heard of it before I even asked if you wanted to play it? How many of you actually heard about it before I yeah, I knew Mish picked up a copy of the book.
I did take a look at it at Origins.
Did you take a look at it?
At Origins. It was one of those booths I meant to get back to, and then we were so busy I never made it back over.
Sure. I know my friend Pete at Imagining Games sells, or he does the U.S. distribution for this game. So I put the link to his web store in the description of this video. So if you'd like to pick up a copy, you can. And like I said, it's a beautiful book. And Michelle, you can hold it up if you want and show folks. The cover looks really, really cool. And I like the format. It's kind of a neat, like kind of not quite a horizontal layout, but it's pretty close. It's more horizontal than it is vertical, which is a neat little makes the book a little unique.
It's very fairy tale book.
Very true. Very true.
The shape of it.
Now, I will warn viewers in advance that this scenario is rather dark, and if you were tuning in to see jolly old Saint Nick, we are not going to be playing that game. So I'm warning you in advance. This game gets a little dark, and there's a reason why these three members are on the show tonight, because I feel like they're going to hopefully enjoy this scenario. But if you're looking for Christmas carols, Saint Nick ho-ho-hoing down the chimneys and all that, this is not going to be that game. Just warning in advance. There's some dark themes in this scenario, which is typical for Broken Tales. All right. With that being said, y'all ready to start playing?
Heck yeah.
Yes,
all right.
Please.
We'll kind of
Do this.
we'll explain the mechanics a little bit as we go. Again, it's going to be very rules light, so feel free to feel free to ad lib as we go. So this is Nikola's pledge. I said Nikola's pledge. The hunters, which are you three, which are part of the order. You basically are these fairy tale, quote unquote, misunderstood bad guys that get sent out to investigate weird things that are going on. And the hunters arrive in the far north, in the village of Rovanmia, summoned by a letter from a young couple, Toma and Jutta, who have recently arrived there. As described in the letter, the community of prospectors who founded the village has always been supported by a wealthy craftsman named Nikola Lupi. After years of apparent tranquility, Nikola has begun asking for a pledge and donation in return for his patronage. Gold and valuables can be given as gifts, which each family must leave on their door on the night of December 24th, as a token of their gratitude. At the first request, however, some ignored this demand. And then the next morning, they each discovered that one of their loved ones was missing. No one believed it was a coincidence. The furious village elders went to Nikola to make him answer for his actions, only to return and declare that the craftsman was in no way connected to the disappearances. From that moment on, however, the villagers accepted the tribute. The tribute had to be paid, and no one disappeared anymore. Tommy, it's Tommy, Tommi, sorry. Tommy and Jutta ask the order for help because they fear for the life of their little Larry, their eldest son, since December 24th is approaching and they have nothing to pay for their own tribute. The hunters will arrive in the remote village of gold prospectors on the edge of civilization, knowing that they are the only link between the law of civilized world and the harsh rules of the cold north. So with that being said, the camera comes to a scene where three hunters are trudging through the forest. They see smoke billowing out from chimneys in the distance, and they're stomping through the snow. And they're in a single file line as they're going and approaching this village. Who's in the front of this line?
I am the queen. I'll be in front.
You'll be in the front. All right. Regina, please introduce your character to everyone.
Absolutely. My name is Regina, the Thief of Hearts. And in fairy tale fashion, I would like to read a little blurb about myself. I was born to be a leader, and I have always surrounded myself with faithful followers ready to satisfy my every whim. Lacking the benefit of noble birth, the power I held was pried from the hands of those less deserving to wield it, no matter the cost. I ruled armies of thugs and broke the hearts of both men and women. After each conquest, I set out in search of a bigger challenge. Because there is still so much out there that should be rightfully mine, I always want more. The Order has given me a new purpose, a new perspective, and new creatures to enslave.
And then who's behind Regina?
I can go behind her.
Okay.
All right. So I am Dietrich and the Cauldron Fae. So I was a rebellious youngin, guilty of committing acts to disrupt the established order because damn the man saved the empire. My anger stems from my past when I lost my younger sister who died from working in large factories run by the wealthy industrialist. With the help of the Cauldron Fae, a powerful fairy, I tried to destroy the city of London, but the order defeated us in time. Goody two shoes. And in the battle, the powerful fairy joined herself to my soul. So the Cauldron Fae is a blue orb who hangs with me. So you see me and my cup of cheer as I'm forced to do work for the order. This is also sometimes referred to as blue balls in the holiday spirit. So that's my Cauldron Fae.
And following at the end is James the swordsman.
I am James the swordsman. I have been a lot of things in my life. A ship captain, duelist of great renown, and a lover of most beautiful noblewomen. After years of success and victories, a mysterious child defeated me with deception. This despicable boy led me into the lair of a dangerous beast, and after imprisoning me, left me to be eaten by the monster. I survived, though. I lost a hand. I know for certain that he who I seek is no human, and I joined the order to hunt down the child I hate above all else, and thus have my revenge.
Nice. So as you approach this this village, the sun is setting, and you see smoke billowing from the chimneys. And after more than a week of traveling through impassable forests and snow-covered plains, you cannot wait to shed your heavy coats and warm yourself by a fire. Instead, you are greeted by locked doors and suspicious looks from behind windows. It seems that you all are not welcome in this village. Then suddenly a voice attracts your attention. A young man beckons you to his house. Psst. This way. You got my letter. I'm Tommy. Please, come in my house. You're more than welcome to stay here.
Thank you. It's getting cold out here.
Please. And he then opens the door to his house and gestures you all in. Who goes in first?
I will go to step in first.
Okay. You see a lovely little cottage. It's got fire, going blazing, and there's like a stew pot on it, and his wife is there, just kind of mixing the stew, and she's got a young infant child in her arms as she's tending to it.
I give
Please.
her a I check the room a little bit and hold the door open for the rest of my companions after I make sure it's safe.
Thank you, James.
Please make yourself at home. Make yourself at home.
I grab a chair and pull it towards the fire. And I'm just like whispering to my fae and kind of scoping everybody out.
Sure. Tommy's wife, Judah, puts the baby down into a little crib, and then tends to go over to the stew and starts to take some bowls out and dishes out little servings of stew and holds it out to Dietrich and James and Regina. She gives you each a little bowl to feed yourself and to warm yourself.
What is in the stew?
It is not much, but it is what we had, and I anticipated you coming, so I wanted to make sure you had something warm for your bellies, because I knew that your trip was very far, and it's just, you know, some beef and root vegetables, but it should warm you up.
By the time she's done talking, I'm pretty much done with my stew, and I'm like,
Sure. It's like, oh, would you like some more?
yeah, and explain to us exactly what you want us to do here. Let's get the show on the road.
So you know, Tommy kind of comes over and is like, so you got my letter, you know, we just don't, we are new here, and we do not have much money, so we are afraid that we cannot make the tribute on the 24th, and we're afraid that our eldest will go missing.
I mean, you're poor. Do you really want to keep the eldest?
I mean, it would be nice to have our family intact, and we care for him dearly.
Please, Dietrich, please. Tommy, we will do all that we can. We need a little bit more information, something more to go on. Where to look first, and what we should be looking.
You should know that this village is has a huge benefactor, and he lives outside of town. His name is Nikola Lupi, and his mansion is about a day's walk away, and he is the main reason why this village has thrived for so long, and we all have many thanks to give to him for our well-being.
Whenever I enter a village, normally people are very warm to me and welcoming to me as their queen. But this was very cold. What is wrong with your villagers?
You see, we are a simple people here, and we tend to just stay to ourselves. We do not like outsiders. So even us coming to live here, it took a while for the villagers to take a liking to us.
I disapprove of this.
All right.
Well,
We want to go see this benefactor?
if I were to you, I would probably visit the elders, and they're the ones that are in charge of the village. If you want more information, this Nikola, he's very well revered here in this area, and he only comes in every once in a while. So you probably want to talk to the elders that deal with him regularly and that know him much better.
It seems that no one in the village would like to speak with us. Where do we find them, and what's the best way to approach them?
Well, you could check the town hall. Usually there's at least 6 of them. There's 6 of them that usually stay in the town hall. I'm sure you'll run into a few of them there. They might even be able to tell you about the other hunter that was sent here to investigate what was going on. He showed up about a week ago, I believe.
What other hunter? Where's he lodging?
He just said that he was going to go visit Nikola, and nobody has seen him since.
Do the elders have servants?
No. They each have they are each very they're in charge of each section of the village. So they each kind of take care of specific aspects of the village. You want to probably talk to Asmo first. Asmo is the one that's kind of the leader of the elders. I think he's been the elder the longest, and I believe he usually speaks to Nikola the most. And then Katri is usually the one in charge of all the wildlife hunting, and Elna is the village weaver, and there's Miko, who's the accountant. They're all kind of in charge of various aspects of the village. But if you wanted to know more about the village itself, I would definitely talk with them first, especially since they seem to interact with Nikola more than most.
What time of day is it?
It is nighttime. It's like dinner time.
Do you want to spend the night here and then hit up the elders in the morning?
Yes.
Which of the elders is most gossipy?
Oh, I don't think that any of them are gossipy. I think that they just want to make sure that the village is well run and organized, and that everyone, if it were me, I mean, out of all of them, I guess Soila would probably be the most gossipy. She is the teacher of the village. She educates the children. She probably is the most well loved in the of the six elders.
I suppose we could go question them in the morning if it is okay. We stay here.
You're more than welcome. We don't have much in the way of bedrooms, but you're more than welcome to lay down by the fire and keep yourself warm and get some rest for the evening.
You're too kind, good sir. That will be more than enough.
Too kind. He's the whole reason we're out here for some yapping kid he has.
Indeed.
I throw down my bedroll by the fire.
Sure. And at that point, Juta will pick up the baby and kind of bring her into the other room, and they'll all go to bed. And she says, "We will see you in the morning." And we'll, if you think of any other questions for us, feel free. We'd be glad to give you any additional information that you need about the village. And they go to bed. And this is where the sun rises, and it's morning now, and everybody's up, and you see light come through the window, and it's got some frost on the window, and you wake up to Judah just kind of holding a bottle and holding the baby in her arms and feeding the baby, and she's like, "Oh, you all are awake. Good."
How many days until the 24th?
It is going to be 9 days until the next pledge payment.
Okay.
She says, I think I saw. I forget what his name is now. Asmo and Katri walked towards the town hall this morning. If you go in there should be at least those two in the town hall. If you would like to talk to them a little.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Hey, real quick before we go, who's your closest neighbor who has lost someone who didn't pledge before, just in case you want to ask them some questions?
I don't know. They all of my neighbors seem to have paid their pledges. This happened a few years ago, and since the first pledge was ignored and the disappearances happened, everybody's been paying their pledges right along. So we haven't had any disappearances yet over the last few years. But I'm afraid that if we don't pay it this year, we'll end up being the first of the new people to have someone disappear.
I assure you, good sir, that will not happen while we are on watch.
Well, thank you. I hope so.
I move to the door.
Do you have any friends?
We tend to stick to ourselves here in this village. We're simple prospectors, so we just try to make a living and eke out a meager and humble existence here.
Right.
All right, let's go talk to these old folks. I mean, elders.
Leaders demand respect.
They have to earn respect.
Oh.
We can do that.
Yes.
Let's go.
Juta, points up the street or up the road of the village, and motions that the town hall is up that way. As you walk up the street, you still see the same hospitality that you were given the night before, where everybody's still kind of hiding behind their windows and giving you kind of strange looks and not being overly hospitable. And ahead of you, you see this brick house in the village, and it's got an imposing wrought iron door that has a large plaque engraved on it with words of gratitude for the town's benefactor, Nikola Lupe.
What's it say?
Words of gratitude?
It just says it says something along the lines of this town hall, or this town hall is a symbol of the generosity of Nikola Lupe and our great benefactor of, what did I say it was? Rovemily. That's the name of the village. These European names, I just butcher them. I apologize, folks, if that's.
Don't feel bad, Doug, because as I've looked at my character sheet, it might actually be Petrick and not Dietrich. I'm not sure.
I think it is Petrick.
Is it? Okay, I'll update my name, but I feel you.
All right.
Yeah, so I grab my little fae and I kind of whisper to it. And what the villagers would see is a bunch of birds just flying over the plaque and just bird droppings all over it. I giggle to myself and then head into the elders building.
Okay. Okay. You go in and the door kind of creaks. At first, you don't get noticed. You actually see two older folks kind of at the far end of the hall, and one of them saying, "We've got to do something about the wildlife. Each season seems to get less and less. You know that we don't have much in our stockpiles. Each winter it gets worse and worse." And then kind of stops and notices that you're there. Says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Hello. How can we help you?"
Flip my red and purple cloak, give a deep bow. Greetings. We have heard you had trouble. My companions and I are here to help.
Oh, there's absolutely no trouble here. I don't know what you're referring to. This is we're actually doing quite well here in this village.
Yeah, what about the poor people who can't pay the tax?
Well, I mean, They should find a way. They'll find a way to pay tribute to our great benefactor, Nikola.
If they can't, are you going to pay it for them?
I'm sure that they will find some way to pay tribute to Nikola. It is only right. He provides this village so much.
Like what?
Well, as you can see, look at these great buildings and look at all the prospecting equipment that we are given thanks to Nikola. This town would not have half of the people in it if it weren't for him and his generosity.
What do you mean it wouldn't have half the people? Where would the people be?
Well, they would be elsewhere. In other villages.
Would they have vanished?
No, nobody vanishes. Why would people vanish?
If they don't pay the tribute?
I don't know what you're talking about. There are many people have volunteered their services to Nikola's workshop instead of working the prospecting lifestyle. They are willing to go live at Nikola's mansion and work in his workshop in a much easier life. Who wouldn't want to have that type of life instead of prospecting?
So the people who disappeared a few years ago are all
There
in
is
his mansion?
there is no disappearance. These people volunteered to go work and help Nikola.
Even the other hunter?
Yes, that's right. We did have one of your kind come through about a week ago. Yes, at last I knew he was headed over to headed to Nikola's mansion as well. He probably talked to Nikola and realized that there was nothing to investigate and went on his way.
You're lying to us.
I assure you that I am not.
I think instead of talking to this dummy, we should just go talk to Nikola. Pull my little dagger out. Like, now some questions.
You've got some. Oh, there's no need for violence. I don't know why you would need to threaten me or threaten us.
No one's threatening.
I don't make threats.
We make promises. We represent the order. And we've heard rumors of your town, of disappearances, and we will not let it stand.
Again, these people have not disappeared. They have voluntarily gone to Nikola's mansion to help him at his workshop.
Then show us.
We are in the midst of a meeting. You are more than welcome to go a day's journey to Nikola's mansion and see for yourself.
I think you should come with us.
I think that there are much better use of my time to tend to the duties here in the village. And if you are true hunters of the order, you would not need our escort to Nikola's mansion.
No, not an escort. You misunderstand. I would like to prove you wrong to your face, good sir. And people do not tell me, no, you are coming with us. It has been decided.
I feel like we need some sort of role here for this. Let's see here. Do you have a descriptor that can kind of come into play at all?
I do. My descriptor is
What
that
is-
I'm determined to get what I want and nothing will get in my way. I
Okay.
will
S-
I will kill, humiliate, or conquer anything that stands between me and my objective.
wow.
I
Okay.
sincerely hate being told no.
Okay. So that'll give you 3 automatic successes, and we'll say that this is kind of we'll say it's a medium difficulty. So you need to get like at least 3 more successes. If not, if you want to go, if you want to do more, you can. So basically, the way this works is if you don't have a descriptor in play, you automatically get 1 success, but you want to roll d6s to give you additional successes, and as long as those d6s don't come up ones, you get a success for each of the die. If you roll any ones, though, the roll fails. How many d6s are you going to roll?
As many as I need to. You said 3 more, right?
You can roll 3 more. You can roll 4 more. You can roll however many you want. Remember, if you go 2 over the difficulty level, you actually get to kind of take. You get like an extra special perk, and I will actually probably hand the reins over to you to let you decide what that perk is.
All right. I will go with, I will do, I will roll 5 dice.
5 dice, okay. You're gonna go.
And
Yeah, okay.
we're going to go for it.
All right.
Because
I support it.
I'm Regina. I'm the queen. 3, 6, 2, 3, 2.
All right. So you succeed. You convince. I forget what all these guys' names are. Asmo, the leader. So you have Asmo and Katre that are both there, and Asmo says, "As you wish. Maybe since Katre knows the forest." And would like to scope out the wildlife, maybe Katri could go along with you on your journey. But what else? What else would you like in this situation, there, Regina?
I would like whomever is agreeing to come with us to be the one who is closest to Nikola to give us a good word once we arrive so that we don't piss him off when we show up.
Regina,
Yeah,
we could also use a pack mule, aka the elder could carry our stuff.
I have 2 servants, so I'm not worried about that. But sure, if you need, let him carry your stuff.
yeah. I'll give you the choice. Do you want to bring Katri, or would you like to bring Asmo? Asmo is like the leader of the village. Katri knows the forest and the wildlife in the area.
What do you guys think?
I vote Katri. She'd probably get us there safer and quicker.
Same.
But what good is she once we arrive?
She's one of the leaders.
What good are any of them, really?
It's true.
At this point, Katri says, "I will be glad to escort you. The way to Nikola's mansion is full of ravines and natural caves."
All right, as it was.
And then you strap all your belongings to her back. Wow. Okay.
I
Sure.
mean, I keep like some
They
of my
do.
stuff, but you know,
Yeah.
They
My-
can do that.
my bedroll and stuff. Work for the people. Carry my bedroll.
She's like, all right, I will be carrying this. And are there any other questions for us before we set off onto our journey?
Let's
What do
go.
they make in that workshop?
What's that?
We said they're going to work in the workshop. What do they
Yes,
make?
Nikola makes very fine wooden toys, and he is well known all over for his impeccable craftsmanship and these toys that bring many children joy all year long.
What do people normally pay as tribute?
Why, gold,
Oh,
currency, money.
okay.
They leave it on their doorstep, and it is gone in the morning.
And no one's ever seen who collects it?
We assume that since Nikola asks for a tribute, it must be something of his doing.
All
Does
right,
he
let's ask
give
the
these
man.
toys away for free?
Does he give the toys? I'm sure he does not. I'm sure that he has many merchants that visit his workshop, and they come from far and wide and probably purchase many of his fine works and fine toys and goods, and he gets a hefty sum, and that, of course, some of that wealth trickles down to us here in the village.
To the village
As
or
you
to
as
you, the elders?
as you can see, the whole village. The village is stocked with prospecting equipment and houses, and the benches in the village, and this village would not be anywhere near the status that it is without Nikola.
It's time we speak to Nikola.
Yep. But as we're heading out,
Mhm.
I like to whisper to my little cauldron fae buddy. And just as the doors on the building that we were in start to close, the guy that we left behind, you just see the fae kind of zip in, and then his
Mhm.
pants fall down, and then we leave. I giggled to myself.
All right. All right.
One of my servants
Uh,
sees it happen and also giggles.
all right. So the three of you and Katri set out to the forest around Rovanami. That's what I said it was. Sorry. This is it's a dense forest, and it's always covered by a thick blanket of snow. And yeah, you should be able to find some tracks pretty easily in the snow if they ever pop up.
So as we're walking along, I'm like, what can you tell us about the hunter who was here?
He was here about a week ago, and we told him to go visit Nikola, and that was that.
Do you remember his name?
I'm sure it was. I'm trying to think here. You would have to ask me this. I was trying to remember one of the.
Was it Hunter Bob? I'm just wondering.
It
We've been
was.
trying.
It was not Hunter Bob. Bob. I've heard of many of his vast adventures, but it was actually not that one. That one's. It was Hunter George.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yep, Hunter George.
George.
Yes. So as you're starting to set out, Katri says it's about a 6-hour walk this direction out of town. Please stay close. There has been some unexplained happenings in the forest recently. And I would hate for something to happen to you.
Hmm.
Does the path we're walking on look like it's been recently walked through? Is it like turned up maybe from any horses, or how well traveled does it look?
You see, you don't see it heavily. Not yet. You don't see heavily traveled. You see a few footprints leading out of town, but most of them all stay within the city or within the village. And as you go a few hours in, you do see a set of tracks that have been covered a little bit by snow. Probably that they're about a week old.
As we're going, I'm also using my binoculars,
Sure.
my precious pair of binoculars, to kind of scan the outskirts and look for anything curious.
Yeah, let's say you use the binoculars, and off in the distance, you see some smoke coming out from the trees, almost like it's coming up out of a chimney or something.
Katri, who lives there?
Oh, that is an old hunting lodge. I can't believe that. I can't believe that there would be anybody in it at this point. No, it's the dead of winter. I can't believe that anyone would want to be staying there right now. Very odd.
How far off the path is that?
It.
You see that this is also the direction of where those footprints, those tracks, the single tracks are they kind of head in that direction. It is probably 20 minutes to a half hour away.
Perhaps it is George.
Yeah, it could be him. I just start following those footprints.
Okay. Yeah. You get to the lodge. It's a small hut, fortified as best that it can be, and there's this little bit of smoke that's coming up out of the chimney, and it seems like there's somebody inside.
I would like to send my servants up to investigate stealthily. One of them is very good at investigating things stealthily for me.
I just go open the door.
You see that someone has barred the doors and windows, as if it's kind of trying to defend against, like, maybe an attack. But you can tell from the light in between the boards that there's probably somebody still barricaded inside.
Pound on the door. George, is that you? Are you in there?
Who's asking?
It's me, Petrick.
Petrick. From the order?
Yeah, remember
How do
that
I know?
night?
Remember that night? What? How do I know it's you?
Remember the night with the dice and the tankards and that lovely maiden you met?
And my servants, they were in so much trouble.
I think you had a hangover for 3 days, George.
Yes, that is quite the event. Okay, it must be you. This must not be a trick. And slowly you hear some grunting and some undoing the barricade in the doors, and eventually the door opens and you see George, and he's badly wounded, and he says, "Come in, quick! Let's not let the snow in, and I am very, very weak at the moment."
What's happened to you?
I was was attacked.
By?
By some reindeer. Although these did not look like typical reindeer.
Wait, are you my grandmother?
That's all for tonight, folks. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
George, you got beat up by some reindeer?
These are not typical reindeer. These reindeer were out for blood.
You're from a jungle.
Not act. No, let's see. I'm George the Holy Dragon Slayer. Not George of the Jungle. That's a totally different fairy tale.
That's Jorge.
There's many of us Georges in this order. Why does everybody keep confusing us? You would think the horse and the black armor would give it away, but still people think I'm from the jungle.
You can play dragons, but not reindeer? My goodness, George.
Yes, well, you know, there seem to be reindeer that seem to be patrolling the area, and they are, like I said, unlike anything I've ever seen. Big gaping maws and red beady eyes. And yeah.
It turned to the
I don't know.
like, what do you know about this?
I know nothing. This is news to me. We heard rumors of monsters in the woods, but we had no idea what they were.
Who wants to go reindeer hunting?
George, did you ever make it to Nikola's mansion?
I did not, but Nikola himself did show up at the door here a few nights ago.
What did he want?
He asked to be let in. He asked to be invited in. I, of course, told him no because I thought it was a trap.
And
he said something about defeating a terrible monster. And then asked if he could be invited in.
Well, we're headed to his mansion now. Do you want to go with us?
I am in no shape to make the travel. I fear that my days are dwindling, and I soon may not be long for this earth. Beware these reindeer. They are quite treacherous beings, almost as if they're possessed.
Perhaps we should get him back to the town so he, has a chance to live.
One of my servants are well versed in healing. It's why I keep them around. They could attempt to heal you, George, I suppose.
Any kind of healing would be greatly appreciated. If you could tend to these wounds, I would be eternally grateful.
Servant, tend to his wounds.
And then the servant goes over and looks over his wounds, and kind of their eyes get very wide, and you can see these bite marks. Yes, they are bite marks. Yes. He just kind of shakes his head and tries to bandage the George up and does what he can. And just kind of walks back over to you and gives you like a
Hmm.
little head nod that it does not look good.
I'm sorry, George.
It's fine. I have had days to realize my fate.
You get some rest, heal
Wait,
yourself, and we will pick you up on our way back.
one more question.
Sure.
What brought you here?
I had heard the letter. I also intercepted the letter from Tommy and Judah, and heard that they were feared for their son's life. So I did what any good hunter would do and tried to make sure that their families stayed whole.
But the order sent us in a group. Why would you come alone?
Because I thought it could just be handled by one person. It's a very simple, what I thought was a very simple task. A simple negotiation does not require more than one person, typically.
Guess you learned.
Yes, there's more afoot here than what we're being told and what we can see. It's a very strange predicament. Hopefully, you can get to the bottom of what's going on.
Did you learn anything about the disappearances before you were attacked?
And then at that point, Katri will say, "You mean the voluntary workers at Nikola's toy workshop? There are no disappearances."
Right. Did you learn anything about the voluntary workers before you were attacked?
No, I was only told what the elders told me. Seems like you also got the same information that I did when I tried to ask around.
So, George, I'm sorry about what's happening to you. Do you happen to have any handy weapons or things that you'd like to pass on to your fellow order members? In loving memory.
In loving memory, I have a sword. If you would like a sword.
Sure.
Sure. And he just kind of reaches over and he's laying on the floor because he's kind of propped up on the wall, and he takes the sword off of his side and hands it to Petrick.
Oh man, you got blood on this thing. And they're the Eldrin grab their sleeve, wipe off some of the blood off the handle.
Hopefully it helps you defend yourself against the reindeer better than it did for me.
All right, we're losing daylight. Yeah. I mean, I'm so sorry, George. Sorry. Gotta go.
That's fine.
We've done all we can.
Katri says, if you would like, I would be glad to tend to George and make his stay more comfortable if you would like me to tend to your friend while you journey on forth.
No way. You look like reindeer food. Let's go.
As you wish.
Come on.
So you go back to the road, to the Lupi estate. It's pretty back to like a wide road. Seems to be well trodden, and again, it's easy to see how much effort and money Nikola has put into creating a good connection between his home and the village of Rovemelina. Rovemeli, that's what it is. Rovemeli. And you see that there are, fresh tracks and herds of animals that are constantly moving through the area.
What kinds of animals are these?
Katri bends down and looks, and she says, looks like some horse prints and these are reindeer hoof prints, but they do not look like typical reindeer hoof prints. But if I were to guess, they are reindeer.
What looks wrong with them?
They just seem bigger for some reason.
Like a little bigger, or like twice the size, or gigantic?
No, probably about twice the size. They look about not probably. They're like 50% larger. They're rather large hoof prints for reindeer.
Use my binoculars again to kind of scan the direction that the hoof prints seem to go, see if there's anything else that stands out.
Yeah, you just kind of see the road. It just keeps going further and further, and it kind of goes into the trees, and you can't really see too much further on ahead. At this point, it's kind of mid-afternoon.
I suppose we continue that direction.
You follow up the road, and you can kind of see Katri kind of looking around, kind of suspicious, like looking around. It's eerily quiet for this time at this point, as you're walking down the middle of the road.
How dense are like the trees and stuff along the road?
It's pretty dense. It's it definitely is not easy to travel through. That's for sure.
About like this.
Yeah, kind of like that. Exactly like that. There's like evergreen trees that just, lots of brush, lots of thick, branches and snow on them, and snowdrifts probably in between them.
Catcher, are you looking for something or listening for something?
I am listening, and the fact that I can't hear anything troubles me. And she just kind of stays still for a minute and then just starts walking up the road a little bit more and starts walking again.
Let's go.
Yeah. Do you... What would you like to do? You're going to go... you're going to go up the road. Would you like to stop and make camp? It's it's about 3:00 in the afternoon. Would you like to just keep going? You're probably about 3-4 hours away.
What time does darkness
Or
fall
do
here?
about 6 o'clock.
So we can make it almost the entire way there?
Yeah, in daylight. If you hurry.
We push on.
Let's
we
hurry.
book it.
Yeah.
I'm practicing with my brand new sword, waving it around like I think I'm super cool, cutting off like branches and
Nice.
snow.
Yeah, you are very quiet then, right? As you're walking up this road?
Me? No.
Yeah. No.
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 All
What
right.
is there to be afraid of? It's snowing trees out here.
I mean, just, these. Yeah.
James, I think I
Yeah.
found the boy you're looking for.
What's that?
I think I found the boy that James is looking for. Petrick. Traveling with
Oh.
a child. That was my point.
Gotcha.
Regina's getting very irritated by all this sword slinging.
Gotcha. Where are you swinging the sword? Are you going along the sides of the road and chopping the?
Getting snow on my robe.
I am getting snow on everyone in this process. I should mention that my character sheet mentions that the adrenaline of risk drives me to succeed. I get bored easily in situations where there's no danger. Just so you guys know.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, you. You see the snow is starting to fall, and it almost looks like it could kind of have a big snowstorm coming in. And as Petrix kind of hitting one of the branches, you hear on the other side of the road kind of a loud snort, kind of like. And
You
then
snort
all
back.
of a sudden,
A derisive snort.
all of a sudden, you see two red, beady eyes kind of appear on the other side of the road.
I draw my
And then
black powder gun and take aim.
Sure. All right. Are you going to shoot?
Are they coming towards us, or are they just?
They haven't shown themselves. They just showed the eyes at this point.
I stay trained on them with the black powder gun. I'm just basically ready for if they charge, then I'm
All
gonna fire.
Yeah, you see all of a sudden kind of come into view these red eyes appear on the other side of the road, and slowly the head of a rather large reindeer kind of emerges, and it doesn't quite look like a typical reindeer. It's got this like big, large, clumsy jaw that kind of hangs from beneath it, and yeah, and all of a sudden it looks at you, and then three others kind of emerge from the sides of this one, and this one charges right at dips its head down with its horns and charges straight towards Katri.
Oh, well, while that one charges, I'm going to fling my new sword at one of the other ones.
Okay.
As soon as it starts charging, I let loose a shot.
Okay. Give me some sort of roll for that. Do you have you have a gun or something?
Yeah, I've got a black powder gun.
Okay. Yeah. You can roll for that, or you can. It looks like you can either use that weapon to do one wound, or you can roll more dice and do additional wounds if you want.
I will roll some dice because why the heck not?
Sure, we haven't rolled very many dice this
I'm
session
gonna
yet.
roll 3 dice.
Okay,
See what happens. 2, a 5, and a 4.
perfect. So yep. So you aim, shoot, hits the reindeer square in the head, in the side of the head, and it just topples over. It gives out this and falls to the ground right in front of Katri, and almost like there's like some like black vapors that kind of emit from it.
Catcher, that's
And
not
then
normal.
it just she kind of like looks at you like with like wide eyes and is just like shakes her head. Nope, this isn't natural. And at this point, the other 3 ranger look like they're about to charge the rest of you. What would you like to do?
So I flung my sword that I stole from George, or I'm sorry, gifted from George, at one of the, like, whatever's on the left.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You want to give me a roll for that?
Yes. I'm gonna roll 4 dice.
Okay.
6, 4, 5, 5.
Nice. Yeah, you hit and take it right out. Again, just kind of you throw the sword and it pierces right into its shoulder, deep, and it just goes deep into its heart, and you see it just like fall down. And as it falls down onto the snow, it gives out this painful cry, and again, the kind of some like black vapor kind of exudes out from and lifts up out from the wound, and you start to see blood kind of just pool on the ground underneath it. Regina, what are you doing?
I'm sending my servant in to attack.
Okay.
One of my servants is a healer and one is a fighter. And my little fighter
Okay.
guy has a knife. And I'm
Okay.
sending him to stab a reindeer in the heart.
Okay. Go for it.
Also, because I'm ordering one of my servants to do this, that is one of my descriptors as the queen. Do I
Mm-hmm.
get successes automatically?
You'll get 3 successes automatically. Yep. So you'll get to do 1 wound no matter what. But if you'd like to roll more additional dice,
3 more dice.
okay.
Oh no, I got a 1.
All right. Yeah. So you send your you said it's a servant or something, or a helper. What do you have?
He's a servant, a fighter servant.
He's a servant. Yeah, you send the servant over to stab the reindeer, and the reindeer basically charges him, and all you see is almost like it's like as it gets close to the servant, it's almost like a cat where it kind of pounces and then just lunges, and with its great big old jaw open, it just almost like bites the servant's face off, and just like the servant just kind of like falls to the ground, and instead of a face, it's just a big, like, all the skin is torn off, and it's just, bare skull, and he's just screaming in pain, and the reindeer is just his mouth is all full of blood, and it's just chomping on this guy's face. It kind of gives a snort, like.
All right, this is how many are left?
There's 1 left, and at this point, it's going to charge you, James, and since you took out the lead one, give me some sort of dodge to prevent yourself from getting bitten.
Okie dokie. Let's see. Gonna roll 3 dice, I guess.
Do you have any descriptors that would let you?
There was something I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure if that. Well, actually, this could work. So, while outdoors, I may ask the storyteller for the beast to come in search of my flesh. The beast is a crocodile. Has an insane for my flesh, so it's coming for me, but will unleash its rage on anyone standing in its way. So basically, my plan is to put the reindeer between me and the beast, so that the beast destroys the reindeer.
All right. Yeah, let's try that. Give me a roll for that.
Let's see. Reading the rest of it here. This titanic strength, it can tear down trees and walls and hurl a man away with a single swipe of its huge paws. The beast is also quite stupid and will leave the scene as soon as I am out of sight.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to roll 3 dice for funsies. 4, a 4, and a 4.
Okay. Yeah. This reindeer goes to charge you, and all of a sudden, from the forest, there's a crocodile that emerges, and it's a giant crocodile, and it then, which is about as almost as big as this reindeer, and it sees that the reindeer's about to attack you, and it lunges and grabs the reindeer in its midsection, in its jaws, and then just starts doing the crocodile roll, even though it's not underwater. It's just going to kind of wrestle with the reindeer, and you can hear the reindeer kind of crying out in pain as this crocodile is trying to take it down and wrestle with it.
While it's taking the reindeer down, I'm hiding, since that's the last reindeer, so that way I'm out of view, and it will hopefully just be like, and then just wander off.
Yeah, it's going to like carry the reindeer. After a while, the reindeer kind of goes limp, and you can see that it was defeated, and it was kind of drags the reindeer into the woods, and he slowly disappears, and you don't see the crocodile or the reindeer again.
Poke my head up out of a snowdrift. It's gone?
It's gone.
Just like Regina's servant. I mean, sorry. Too soon?
I do want to send my healer servant over to my dying fighter servant and see if there's anything he can do.
Oh, he's the fighter servant is dead. He's definitely, he grabbed his face and then expired onto the ground.
Oh, so sad.
Patry looks at the devastation that's happened, and she's like, can't believe the rumors were true. I never seen anything like this in my life.
You knew of these beasts.
I knew that there was rumors of monsters in the forest, but I did not know that it was this.
What kind of forest guide are you?
I am well in age and years. The days of my hunting prowess have been behind me for quite some time. I am just here to lead and to teach the hunters to be able to hunt the remaining wildlife that seems to be dwindling in this area faster and faster each season.
These don't seem as wildlife. Inspect them.
Is not my. But let's inspect them together because I have no idea what these are. These are great beasts. I've never seen such a thing.
I'm clearly very upset about my servant dying.
While you're figuring out the inspecting, can we talk next time about maybe Michelle not playing herself in the game?
Yeah. Do any of you have any kind of do you guys have any descriptors relating to hunting or magic?
Nope.
None of you?
No.
Okay. So Katri kind of goes over to one of the reindeer that's on the ground, and she kind of inspects it. She says, these reindeers have been altered. They have been imbued with some sort of dark magic that this is not natural. This is not something that should take place here.
We're wasting daylight.
Yep.
This reminds me of a young girl, Alice. But I can't remember why.
Are you mad? Are
Reminds
you
you.
big mad here?
It reminds you of a girl named Alice.
Yes. But I can't remember why. As if the girl is from a different version of my life that I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah. So you proceed up the road. At this point, it is now evening, and everything has gone dark, and the snow is falling down, and you arrive to the Loopy estate, and basically it consists of two large buildings, and seems like there's some sound of work that comes from one of the buildings that looks like a large factory, and the other building is like a large Baroque style villa, and it looks like the doors and windows are all barred up.
In between the bars, do we see like any light inside? Is there smoke coming from the chimney?
No, it doesn't seem to be any lights or anything.
I feel like we need to check the workshop first.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You you fight the wind and the snow and the ice that's coming down, and you go up to the factory, and inside the factory you see it's quite messy. There's toys stacked to the ceiling, and there's workbenches, and yeah.
Is there are there lanterns lit in there? Is there a fire burning?
There's some lights in there, so you can see it's lit. It almost looks like there's somebody that's been in there for a little while, or some people, I should say.
All right, I yell out. Anybody home?
We should send Katri in first.
Yeah, you can send Ketri in. Ketri kind of she opens the door and goes in, and yeah, she's like, "Hello, hello." and you see there's a whole bunch of kind of servants sleeping on the floor, surrounded by these piles of toys. They're all kind of wearing like these green uniforms and funny pointed hats.
Hmm.
The closest one to us, I go and nudge with my foot to wake him up.
Yeah. You open up and the kind of comes to, and he's just like, "Is it time to work again, Nikola?" And he's like,
No.
"Oh, you are not Nikola. You are intruders. We must eliminate you." And that's when he starts to make a loud noise, and everybody kind of starts to wake up that's sleeping, and they all kind of are starting to come to. What would you like to do? What's that?
I don't want to be eliminated.
They're intruders. You cannot disrupt Nikola's workshop.
We are no intruders. We come with Katri, the elder from the village.
Like, I don't know this Katri.
Do you
And
know?
they start
Do you know the village?
they start to throw toys at you.
I pull
Get their
out
toys back.
I pull out my long leather whip with metal studs and spikes on it, and I whip it in the air, and I whip down one of those toys as it comes at me, and I say, "Who are you really? Where is Nikola? And what do you know about the village?"
There's about a dozen of them, and they're all just kind of picking up items and throwing them at you. And they're not going to answer any questions from you. Seems like.
I don't like when people don't listen to me.
I stab one.
They just kind of looks at you with like wide eyes. Doesn't say a word, and then just collapses to the ground.
Don't kill him. What are you doing?
He hit me with a toy train.
One of them picks up a toy wooden horse and chucks it at James.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to use with a sword or smile descriptor. Once per scene, I may perform a gesture of extreme precision with my weapon, such as an object off of someone or writing something on a surface. So I'm going to draw my fine dueling blade, and the one that just threw something at me, I am going to charge him and use my sword to skillfully remove the hat from his head. An attempt to intimidate him, stop throwing stuff because I just the hat on his head in a very intimidating manner.
Yeah, that's we'll say that's gonna be kind of hard. So we'll say it's a 5. It's a 5 difficulty.
Let's see. The person observing your skill will either be impressed or intimidated, depending on the storyteller's decision.
Okay.
One additional success when you use the emotion you have aroused to your advantage. So you want me to roll some dice?
Yeah, why don't you roll a couple dice and let's see if you can get a couple extra successes on that.
All right. Let's do. 4. It's really hard to decide how many dice to use. 3, 6, 4, and 3.
Yeah. Let's say that for a second, it just kind of this worker just kind of, you can see that like their eyes kind of come to, and they like drop their weapon, or they drop the toy, and they kind of look at you, and they're like, help me. And all of a sudden they just kind of like their eyes glaze back over, and they pick up a toy and they start to throw it again.
They're under hypnosis. We must save these little. Look, I need a new servant.
I'm open to ideas without actually killing all of the villagers.
We need to find out what is causing them to be hypnotized. I don't think that their toys are, they're just annoying. I don't think they're going to kill us with their toys. We should just go around them.
At this point, one of them starts to run and tries to tackle Petrick.
I punch him in the head to see if it knocks him out.
Yeah, give me a roll for that. Try. We'll say it's an easy, so you get three successes. Do you have any kind of descriptor that would give you any successes, or do you want to use any Soma points? We haven't talked about Soma points. Soma points. Every hunter has a Soma point that they can use as automatic success. So they are a resource that kind of gets replenished over each scene. But we haven't used any yet this session, so.
No, I just have like if I sneak up on someone, or any fear or mind control effects don't work on me, because I'm fearless.
Okay, so yeah, so you're gonna need at least like 4 or 5 dice.
I rolled 4 dice and they're all successes. Got
Okay.
3, 5, 6, and 2.
Yeah, you. What do you want to do? You wanted to punch him and just knock him out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that, no
Right
problem.
in the head.
You just kind of totally just wind up, hit him side the head, and he just crumbles to the ground, just knocked out cold.
Now I'm like super proud of myself. I'm like, look, I'm helping. I didn't kill him.
Yes, yes. I would like to claim one of these servants as my own. And when I want something, nothing will get in my way. Not even the servants being under hypnosis. So I will use my whip to whip the servant into submission.
It's our first win of the night. No, second. We're
Second.
first. Second. The Doug
Oh
pose.
my god,
Yes,
Doug.
But we haven't told the audience yet. If we get Doug to go like this, there's a potential when Doug is storyteller that we get extra Soma points.
Yes, we'll give Mish an extra Soma point for that one.
Yes. And I will be sure that this happens.
Just running around with your whip yelling, submit, submit, submit.
The idea is that I don't
God.
have to continue doing that. I would like to do that until he breaks his trance, and then he is my faithful servant from then on, because I will have saved him.
Okay.
I am helping.
So again, that whole
Okay.
conversation about Michelle not playing herself in the game, we'll have to revisit
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure that the next session is definitely not the case.
Okay. Three die is what I'm gonna roll.
All right.
3, 4, 3.
So you got 3, and then how many? You said you had a descriptor that would
Yeah.
help you in that situation.
I used my descriptor that I get what I want and nothing gets in
Okay.
my way.
So you got 6 total successes. I will say that the similar situation where with James, where the trance that they seem to be in kind of gets broken for a split second, and you can kind of see the sadness in their eyes as they look at you, like they don't have control of what they're doing, and they wish that they could stop, but all of a sudden their eyes glaze back over, and they you basically snap them out of it for a little bit, but didn't completely snap them out of it.
Did I not roll?
You can definitely tell there's some humanity left in these folks, and they're not doing the bidding of, they're not acting on their own.
Can I use a soma point to snap him all the way out of it
Sure.
so that I can get what I want?
Sure. The young man that was attacking you just kind of gets snapped out of his trance, and it's just like, oh, I wonder if my family's okay. So tired
Don't
of
worry,
making
boy.
choice.
Don't worry. You're safe with me now. I will keep you safe if you keep me safe as your queen.
He kind of looks at you. He kind of looks at you real cool, like kind of looks at the toys, like maybe I should just go back to making toys. Kind of looks at you again, and he's just like, he's not quite sure which option is the better option in this situation.
I do still have the whip in my hand, if that's helpful.
He reluctantly gives in and is like, I'll be glad to help you on this journey if you return me back to my family once your task is completed.
I'll consider it.
Did she say yes? Did you see? She kind of looks around. He's like, that was a yes, right? Like she said yes. Like that.
Oh yeah, sure, totally. Yeah.
Do it. Should I get this in writing? Is it? I should probably get it in writing, right? I should writing like that. That's the thing that, right? You know. So get it. Is she good? And he kind of looks over at Petrick. He's like, she'll be okay. She'll say yes, right? I mean, she'll let me.
Petrick's like, this is boring, and I start yelling at the top of my lungs, Nikolai, I'm about to start killing your little friends. Where you at? I'm just yelling that over and over.
He looks at you, and the Regina fighter servant now, I guess is what we're gonna call him. What's his name? What's his name, Regina? Since he's now your underling.
Billy.
Billy looks at you and says, "Oh, Nikola does not come to the workshop very often. He just comes to inspect every once in a while to make sure that the quality of the toys are good. He's probably in the mansion, but I wouldn't go in there if I were you."
Why?
Why?
Nikola is not. No, he's not right. He's not like us.
How long were you enchanted by him?
I mean, when was the tribute? When was the pledge that must have been years ago at this point?
We've been told the tribute started about 3 years ago.
That seems about right.
Do you eat?
We are provided food, yes.
Good. Can't have you dying on me.
Are the rest of them still throwing toys at us, or
Yeah, they're definitely throwing toys. You're doing this while avoiding toys being thrown at you. Yes, let's.
we'll make sure it's right in my head. I know what's going on.
Yeah. You're definitely trying to have this conversation while avoiding toys. The whole
can't kill him,
workshop's just a mess.
let's go to his house. The exactly kind of conditions that my sister died in.
Aside from trying to punch them all in the face one by one to get them to snap out of it, I feel like we just ought to just leave them be for now and see if, there's something in the house that can snap them out of it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I have
So what's that? What did you say, Regina?
I said I have my new servant. I'm good.
As we're walking out, I'm like, hey, Billy, ask her what happened to her old servant. And then I, sprint away towards the house.
It's like, why? What happened to her? What? There was an old servant? What happened?
Oh, Patrick.
And you can you can see there's a Katri just kind of just her eyes kind of get wide and kind of just shakes her head in horror, like she's like reliving that whole scene of her original servant getting his face bitten off, and she speeds up a little bit as you walk up to the walkway up to the mansion.
And I say, my last servant was a valiant warrior, and you would be lucky to die the way he did. Serving your queen.
You're not selling it very well.
All right. Is there like a front door on this house?
Yeah, you go up to the front door and you open the door, and kind of this tall, thickly, kind of looks skinny, scrawny man dressed in red opens the door. He's got very like sunken eyes with black around them, and it's like, you are the ones that are making the commotion in the workshop. I wondered. And Katri says, Nikola, I tried to tell them not to. I warned them to not come here and disturb you, but they still came anyway. Very well, he says, you may enter. Please come in.
What does he think of my servant?
He doesn't really notice that you have one of his helpers just yet.
Good.
It's not until you all kind of walk past him as he has the door open. Inside the entrance of the house, there's 3 other people that seem to be like the house staff that are tending to different things, and they're all kind of, as soon as you walk in, they kind of stand at attention. And as you walk one at a time to the door, as soon as Billy walks in, he kind of eyeballs Billy and lets him proceed through.
Hey, tall, red, and ugly. What's up with the people you're forcing to work in the workshop?
I'm not forcing them. They are here to have a better life other than prospecting. The life of a prospector is hard and rough, and I'm giving them another alternative. As you walk into the main entryway of the house, you see on display in front of you is a large painting in the main hallway, and it shows Nikola when he was a nobleman, and the painting is dated 1602.
What year is it now?
What year are we in?
You are a few hundred years after that, a couple hundred years after that.
Hmm. Is that your father, Nikola?
No, that is a portrait of me.
How old are you, sir?
I am quite old. I am many years old, but I am take very good care of myself.
Hmm. Well, you're not using good skin cream, I can already say. So what is it? What are you doing to take good care of yourself?
I make sure I. He looks over at his staff. He's like, make sure I eat the right foods.
And those would be?
You know, the things that give me great power, and I am able to provide to the town, the village, and I am able to make sure that they are well taken care of, and I want to see them succeed. So I have given myself this task of making sure that the town is taken care of, because I would love to see this town prosper.
While he's talking, I walk over to one of his servants and like snap in their face and wave hands to see if they're like the guys in the workshop.
One of them is Pete the butler, and he just kind of looks down at you like, "Who do you think you are?" Snap at me.
Oh, you're gonna be hoity-toity, huh? Do you enjoy working here?
The master is very kind, and we are well taken care of here. Nikola says, "Please follow me to the main hall, and we shall discuss another matter that I have. Would probably like your skills to attend to, if it's not any inconvenience."
Well, we're following him. I ask him about the reason, or I tell him about the reason we're here, that there's a family who can't afford to pay the tribute, and we want him to make an exception.
And he stops and turns and looks at you. And he says, I'm afraid that if you do not help me with this other task, the rest of the village, the concerns of that household will be insignificant compared to what will probably happen.
Why are you going to raise the tribute and take one from every house this year?
I am not, no, but there is a great beast that I need vanquished.
You're talking about the reindeer, because we already killed them.
My poor pets, you dismantled them?
Patrick, stop.
You are great hunters indeed, then.
Yeah, we're pretty great hunters indeed, if I don't say so myself.
Then you should have no problem taking care of this beast, this monster that lives in the cave just north of me. See, I love to collect all sorts of things of the occult, and this one item had great power and lusted for great power, just like myself. But I'm afraid that its power is going to be greater than mine once it's all said and done. You see, I need help with this beast that calls itself the Basilisk. It is a giant red sack that feasts on human flesh. You see, I also draw my power from blood, but I have vowed not to claim human life. I merely feast upon the beasts of the forest in order to keep my powers. But this Basilisk just wants to consume and devour even more and more. It got so hungry that I decided to give it pieces of myself. And that was a grave mistake, for it drew even greater power and even greater hunger. So slowly I've had to feed it unsuspecting merchants that have come to grab and purchase my fine goods and toys here in my workshop. I'm afraid that once its hunger and power gets so great, it will descend upon the village and destroy the village. So I'm asking you, as hunters of the order, will you please help me eradicate this monster so that we can coexist here, so that we can exist in this village in peace?
I have two conditions for hunting this beast.
Yes.
One, you release all your workers back to their homes in the village.
And the second thing? The second request?
You don't take people as tribute anymore.
These are acceptable requests. I will adhere to them. I don't think that I will need more toys to be made to get more merchants up here to feed the Basilisk. So, yes, all this should be fine.
Sweet, let's go kill a monster. I got my little sword, and I'm like, let's go.
I would like to request that your servants be released now so that they may choose to join us on this quest to kill the monster, if they'd like. Because I'm sure that they would follow me.
It's hard to say no to them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He's like, he thinks for a second, and he says, once the Basilisk is defeated, I will relinquish them from my power.
Hmm.
Hey, if he
You
doesn't
have my
do it
word.
right after, we can just kill him.
I would like some additional support going after the monster. I just had my nails done. I don't want to be fighting monsters myself, you guys.
Too bad we don't have
Again,
George.
we need to make sure that Mish does not play herself
know,
next
really,
next game.
We need to
Please,
explain
I
the
mean,
whole
it's
role
just-
playing.
Yeah, it really is getting obnoxious in this session.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like back at Gen Con.
Yeah, it is. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is you better get ready for getting those nails dirty because the Basilisk is not an easy foe to defeat. I'm afraid you are going to make sure to use as much might and power and strength as you can muster to defeat this creature.
While they're going through all this, I'm bored, so I'm carving into one of the tables Petrick was here.
The butler kind of looks at you and is just like, kind of again, he just kind of like looks down at you like, and then he just kind of like raises his nose up to you and kind of turns around and walks out of the room
I'm like,
as if he's gonna go get some table stain and polish to kind of make sure blend it in so it's not as visible once you leave.
So before we go back out into the cold, one of the items that I possess is a dress for every occasion. So I would like to change into my armored dress designed for fighting. Hey, look, he did the thing again. I can't help what equipment I'm given.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
The battle
Perfect.
dress.
You
Need my
you put on the
Armor.
battle dress.
yes.
The chainmail the dress that you have.
I
Chain.
whisper,
Leather arm. We don't do. That's for servants.
Wait a minute. I don't
Leather.
like this. I don't like this like mental image that you're giving people in this session.
leather dress, leather whip.
Themes.
I am
More
the thief of hearts.
dark themes.
Oh my god. All right.
What?
Okay. What were you going to say, Janet? Let's move on from this.
Right. I whisper to my little cauldron fae friend. And as the servant comes back in with his little polishing cloth and stuff, it appears to him that he is wearing a matching dress to Regina.
It appears to the butler that the butler's wearing the same dress as Regina.
Yes.
Okay. He just kind of like looks at Regina and then looks at himself. And he just kind of, his eyes kind of open and he's just like super confused. Like when he got this matching leather dress that Regina has on, and promptly pivots on one foot and marches out of the room.
And then I look at Nikola and I'm like, let's go. I have no more entertainment now.
Okay.
Where is this cave, sir?
It is north of here, and yes, you will see it. So he takes you up to this, about a mile away from his house. There is, you arrive at the mouth of a large cave, from which emanates a terrible stench of death. And as you prepare to descend into this cave, you hear some snoring, some deep snoring.
I'm sorry, what does it sound like?
It sounds like
We really need Jason in these games to do some of the soundtrack.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We need Jason. Yeah, because
I still didn't quite hear you though. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely somebody snoring.
yeah.
Suppose we gotta sneak in if it's
Yeah. You want to sneak in?
Yes.
I think we should send in Billy.
No. I got this. I sneak in.
Okay.
Can you give me a roll for that?
Yeah. All right, so I gain 1 additional success in all actions that require the use of subterfuge. So does that mean
Okay.
I have 4 successes? So I will roll 3 dice.
Okay.
And that is a 4. That's 6 and 6. Man, these
Awesome.
black oak dice
Yeah,
are killing it. Craig's my favorite person right now.
Nice.
Sorry.
Yeah. You sneak in and you descend down into the cave, past the rocks, and you see that there's a whole bunch of like human remains and blood that kind of make a trail down into the cave, and what you see is like a huge dirty red sack, and it's just encrusted with like blood, and it's just got this big large mouth where the opening of the sack would be, and there's like these teeth that kind of protrude out of it every once in a while, and just you see it's almost like a as if it were like a Muppet character when it's just snoring. It's just like the opening of the bag, the mouth there just kind of opens up just a little bit where it goes. And you don't know where the snoring is actually coming from since it doesn't really have a nose, but it makes that noise, and the bag kind of opens and it goes. And as it like exhales, the mouth opening just kind of.
All right, roughly how far, like how long did it take me to get down there?
It took you a couple minutes. It's not all that far, but just as you descend, the stench gets more and more potent.
Okay. I stab the bag.
Oh, okay.
without a slit.
What's that?
I'm just checking. Go ahead.
Yeah,
After
give
nothing
me
and throw myself into any situation. The adrenaline rush drives me to succeed.
give me a roll for that.
So I have automatically 4 successes.
Yep.
And son of I rolled a 1.
Oh, did you fail?
I
Okay.
failed.
So as you approach to strike this basilisk, it kind of it gives and it almost is like it was like faking you out, like it was doing fake snoring, waiting for you to get closer, and it jumps up and bites you and does 1 wound with its bite. And then it grabs a hold of you with its mouth and kind of throws you about 30 feet back towards the entrance of the cave.
All right. As I'm fleeing, my body's fleeing across the cave. If I could, I would just like to yell out, "I found it!" Smack.
Isn't when you get a wound, isn't that when you can activate the dark ego?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
What would the rest of you like to do? Now you just kind of hear it at the base of the cave. If Petrick's the only one that went down into the cave, then you just hear from the depths of the cave. You hear this like kind of growling.
Take a deep sigh, draw my black powder gun, and charge into the cave.
Okay.
Servants, follow James. Protect him.
They kind of like look at each other, and they like, why are we doing this again? What? Why are we? They kind of scratch their heads like, what the? What? Why are we risking our lives here?
I am your queen. That's why.
And they just kind of reluctantly walk down into the cave.
That's right.
Yeah. What is James doing once he gets Once you get down to the bottom of the cave, you see this big giant red sack, and it's just kind of like moving around, kind of on its own, and it just kind of looks like it's going to. It's got like a whole bunch of teeth that are coming out of the opening, and it's just kind of inching. It's kind of like making its way up out of the cave a little bit.
So I'm moving to put myself between Petrick and the bag.
Okay.
Taking a quick glance down, making sure Petrick is still alive.
Seems to be. Petrick's wounded, but still alive.
And then I'm going to shoot it with my black powder gun.
Okay.
Quizzically, because I'm shooting at an animated bag.
Okay.
And then I'm going to roll some dice. And there's a 3, a 2, and a 6. So 3 successes.
Nice. Yeah, you fire into the bag, and it kind of like jerks back, like as it gets hit, and it just kind of gives out this loud roar, and you can just see its like mouth opening up, and there's just like a whole series of teeth inside the opening of this battleless mouth, and it kind of as that's happening, Regina's 2 servants kind of walk up to the sides of you, and they're kind of just standing there looking at what's going on, and then all of a sudden the basilisk jumps, leaps into the air, and it just literally, its mouth is wide open, and it jumps over on top of one of her servants and just swallows him whole, and all you hear is like this.
Was it Billy? Because technically now he's free.
No, Billy. Billy kind of looks at looks at what's going on. Yeah, looks at what just happened, and he goes to James. Is like, is that what happened to the one that was the servant before me?
Close.
That's kind of what I thought.
Oh, Bobby. Poor Bobby. I am in the cave, by the way. I'm just kind of standing there, like holding my nose because it's gross in here.
in your leather dress and whip.
Yeah. My battle dress and
Your battle dress. Sorry.
my spiked whip will cause
Okay.
some pain. It has metal studs and spikes on it. It's not like a fun time. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. What does Peter want to do now that you're injured and laying on the ground?
I yell out, I don't believe physics apply to me. And you see the little big cauldron kind of spin around me. So I'm using my dark ego, so it costs me a soma. So
Okay.
and I almost look shadowy at that point, like I'm a
Okay.
shadow of myself. And I would like to
Excellent.
kind of flit, bouncing off the wall and stuff to try and stab it in the back.
Awesome. Yeah, go for it. It's
All
just
right.
like gnawing on this servant. What was it? Bobby. His name was Bobby. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And you can just see it's just kind of eating this servant that was of Regina's.
All right. So 1, 2. So I have 4 automatic successes. I'm gonna roll 3 more. And 2, 4, 6. All right. So I'm good.
Okay. So yeah, you succeed, but you want to stab. You want to stab the bag.
Yes.
The basilisk. Okay. Yeah, you stab it, doing 1 damage, but the dagger or whatever. What did you use? Like a knife of some sort.
My dueling blade.
Your dueling blade like kind of gets stuck into the bag, so you're kind of stuck on top of the bag, and instead of doing a clean cut and like kind of getting away, you're now stuck with the basilisk. What would?
I'm riding that.
Yeah, yeah, because he's just gnawing on this this servant that he just devoured. James, what would you like to do?
All right, so drawing my fine dueling blade.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so if I'm reading all of this correctly, with the dark ego and activation, I can actually take a wound on myself.
Yep.
Intentionally to trigger my dark ego. But I'm going to start with a regular attack, rushing it and stabbing it with my dueling blade.
Okay.
So do a regular, just 3 die. Failure.
Okay. Yeah, you rush up to it, and it kind of it's got Petrick on its back, stabbing it, and it's kind of wincing in pain. And as you like rush up to it, it kind of does the thing where it just kind of whips around because it's trying to whip, Petrick off of its back, and it just kind of like slams you into the wall.
Does that mean, with that failure, does that mean I will not be able to do my dark ego thing? Is that kind of like failure for the rest of the round? Or can I still take my dark ego?
You should be able to take a wound. Yeah, I'll let you take a wound if you want to take a wound.
So
well, I'll just say that we'll just say that when he slammed you up against the wall, that you took a wound because of that.
Okay. So I will have my satisfaction. When I choose an opponent, there is no escape for them. Once per scene, I can take an additional action against the target of your challenge, even if you've already acted during this exchange, to anticipate their move and stop their action with yours.
Okay.
Let's see. If an opponent inflicts a wound on you, you savor the taste of the challenge and receive 1 additional success at each check against them for the rest of the scenario. So I'm going to use my hook hand because I have a hook instead of a hand. My left hand. And I just dig it into the bag since it slammed me up against the wall. Basically hold it in place to keep it from acting at this point. So I'm using my action to stop their action. With one additional success. And then to use successes for this, I'm going to dump my soma.
Okay.
7.
7? So you do seven successes to it?
7 successes.
All right. We'll say that that is worthy of, let's see, hard difficulty is, or medium difficulty is 5. So you do 2 extra. So we'll say that that's 3 damage total in that attack. So it's now has 5 points of damage against it. So yeah, it's definitely not like moving around as quickly as it was. And at this point, Billy looks at what's going on and kind of goes, I think I'd rather just go back to making toys. And turns around and walks back up the mouth of the cave.
No, Billy, I will give you.
Toys wasn't all that bad. Toys was fine.
Billy, I will reunite you with your parents if you help us defeat this monster.
Yeah, we didn't really get along all that much anyway.
Billy, I will give you gold and jewels, riches you could never dream.
Yeah, you can't really spend that stuff if you're dead.
Coward. Billy is a coward.
Are you even in the
So
cave?
is his queen. Who's
Not
not in the room? Sorry.
Wow.
Little something stuck there.
Wow, okay, I see how it is.
What's Regina gonna do at this point? Besides berate Billy for not wanting to do the work that she's supposed to be doing.
I have servants for a reason. Listen, I will attack.
That was so
All right. that was very dramatic. Thank you, Regina, for that.
Welcome.
So you've got Petra who has a knife in it and is holding onto its back. You've got James that's got the hook hand that's into the side of it that is holding it at bay, while Petra kind of stabs it at the back and is kind of getting jostled around. And you're like, I guess I'll attack.
I am going to, since they have it pretty well restrained, I'm going to run around the back holding my nose with my non-dominant hand because it's really gross in here. And I'm going to take my dagger and slice down the side of it, the side where these two are not.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dice.
All right.
I failed. I got a 1. Wait.
What?
I am determined to get what I want and nothing will stand in my way. My intention It says, when you act with clear and direct intention to achieve an object, you get 1 additional success on each position check. You can turn, once per session, you can turn a failure into an outcome with increment. Describe how you grit your teeth to fight and get what you want.
Okay.
So
we'll say that you definitely defeat it, but there's going to be a cost to it.
So
I'm just going to tell you, there's going to be a cost.
I grit my teeth as it swings its open mouth to attack me because I didn't quite make it over there fast enough. And I let go of my nose. I have to be all in on this. And I go as fast as I can, and I tear through the bag all the way from teeth to tassels.
Okay.
Leather, whip,
Nice.
tassels,
Oh, teeth.
teeth.
Doug,
Doug, I thought this was a family channel.
It's your monster.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that. You just rip right down through it, and it just screams out in pain. And you just like kind of slice this bag right in half, and it then just kind of lays dead, and just all this teeth and guts and blood and bag is all, there's this red sack is all just on the ground, and you give it that death blow, but the penalty is you break a nail in the process.
You lost your healer. That's unfortunate.
Horrible. I freak out frantically. I reach in the side of the dead monster and I pull out my healer servant, just praying he's still alive in there. And I pull him out.
He's like he's
You pull out half of him.
definitely. Yeah, exactly. It's just the upper half. You pull him out, and it's just the upper half of him, and he's just like, "Thank you for taking care of me all these years. I know a good nail person. I can give you a reference."
Please,
And then
Bobby.
he just kind of collapses.
No, Bobby.
He goes,
no.
And then, like, as he's about to tell you who you should go to get your nails fixed, he expires in your hands.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Hey, since I'm wounded, can I use my dark ego one more time?
Sure, absolutely.
I look at Regina and I say, I don't believe the smell of that monster will ever wash off of you.
How is that your dark ego?
Because if I don't believe something, that's what happens.
Wow. Suddenly I'm just filled with dread, as if I know for some reason that what Peter said is true.
Then I just kind of hop in the air and do somersaults and stuff and giggle to myself with my little fae.
And I weep as we exit the cave.
And Billy is waiting there at the cave, and he like is it dead? Is it? Did you actually defeat it?
I come out of the cave with it still attached to my hook, dragging it behind me.
Oh, nice! I like that.
And I flick some of the guts that remain on my hand onto Billy. And I say, "This is how it's done, Billy." And I flick the guts on him.
Nice.
Still
Just
crying.
kind of like,
still totally like, crying.
Kind of just like wipes off the bag guts, the battlist.
Where was Nikolai while we were doing all this heavy lifting?
Oh, he was definitely back at. He went back to his mansion. He thought for sure you guys wouldn't succeed.
I'm taking this straight to the porch.
Sure. So you go back to his mansion, and he's just astounded that you defeated this creature, and he's just like, I am a loss for words. You defeated this creature. I am forever in your debt. Please take some of these rare, powerful items that have occult powers and take them to and use them. And he hands you like different trinkets that he's collected over the years. And he says, "Now, please, with your permission, I would like to return to my reclusive lifestyle and continue to make toys and benefit and help the village succeed."
But you're making the toys, not them.
I will be making the toys on my own, yes.
You got
And I will employ any of the villagers that would like to come on their own accord.
In my gleeful excitement to grab these trinkets, I pull out of my bag this old ratty pirate flag and start laying the trinkets on it and then like tying them up to put them back in my bag.
Nice. You see, I need someone to work during the day, for I cannot work during the day. I can only be out at night.
Why?
I will ask the villagers if they would like to work in my workshop, and I will pay them a salary if they continue the toy production.
I mean, hey,
If that
guys,
is
real
okay
quick.
with the order.
So I like motion to them over to the corner as I'm stuffing this pirate flag back into my bag. I'm like, I think he's a vampire. Do we let them live?
I agree that he's a vampire.
Like, I didn't read the whole rules thingy. So.
They didn't send us here to kill a vampire. They sent us here to get the villagers back. I don't know. Is he bad? He's not eating people. He's eating animals.
He survives on blood. He has the ability to put people under his control. Who's to say he won't the moment we leave?
I mean, but he also makes toys.
Toys. Very dull toys.
The finest toys of the land that give many children much delight all year long.
Yeah, we're obviously not whispering very well over in this corner.
Yeah, of course. And he's a vampire. He can hear you guys whispering. They have hella good hearing.
Oh, oops.
What if we just leave him with like a warning? Like
a vampire couldn't kill Bagolas?
Yeah, he's probably not a very good vampire.
No.
I mean,
not good at all.
He does feed on wildlife instead of humans.
Does he sparkle?
I mean, kind of looks like Batman.
Oh, we're killing him. Sorry. If they sparkle, they die.
Hang on.
What's that?
I'm not sure if we should kill him. Maybe we should let him live. I have been considering finding myself a king.
This took an unexpected turn.
It's getting better and better.
He kind of he kind of like runs his fingers through his beard and kind of looks at you, and of course you're just splattered with battleless guts and this leather battle dress, and you smell, and he's just like I'm fine living the reclusive life. Thank you so much for the offer. I'm quite all right. No, you're not supposed to say that. What are you supposed to say? As the Queen of Hearts.
Oh, I'm the Thief of Hearts.
Oh, you're the Thief of Hearts. Oh.
You're not going to make me say it.
We're both trying to make you say it.
No. I'm the Thief of
God.
Doug, where do you find these people?
I don't know. We need to talk to Michelle about playing another character besides herself in these sessions.
If Regina asked Nikola if he's been working out, he might be more into her.
You don't understand. I am the Thief of Hearts. People don't tell me no. Did you not hear my backstory log?
It's at this point the Nikola kind of like looks at you and uses his mind control powers and convinces you that you don't need to stay here and that you're perfectly fine, returning Billy back to his family and letting him live his reclusive life, making toys and providing for the village.
And I say, off with his head.
At this point, I find their love story boring.
I don't know why I say that, because he's just hypnotized me.
What are James and Petrick doing at this point? Now that you've basically solved this whole scenario, do you let Nikola live, or do you let him exist with Regina, or do you notice I did not say live, or do you take
his end of the bargain? At this point, my next concern would be getting back to the cabin where George is to see if we can actually get him back to the village and save him. So,
sure.
Regina, if you're coming with us, cool.
Oh yeah, I'm on it for George. So I would like to spend another Soma point and use my dark ego that I don't believe gravity affects me at all.
Okay.
And as James talking about, giving Regina like where we're headed, he just hears me yell, "I can fly, I can fly, I can fly," as I start heading towards where George was.
All right. Yeah. You go off and try to save George, and that's the last thing we see. We see Petrick fly away, and we see James kind of just drag Regina and Billy out the door of Nikola's mansion and head that way to the cabin, and hopefully they get there in time to save George and bring him back to the order for your next mission. That was Nikola's pledge, which was crazy. And I never thought that I would think of Santa Claus as a vampire, but it makes sense because he lives all the time and he only comes out at night, and yeah, doesn't age because he's always old. So that makes sense to me.
Works for me. I definitely didn't figure that out until way late.
Yeah. So that was Nicola's pledge. Thank you for saving the village and enduring this ridiculousness. Everybody, if you are still watching this, thank you so much. Please hit that like button down below. I want to thank Mark and Janet and Michelle for coming on and being a part of this session. And if you like it, let us know. We can do other sessions as well. I thought for sure that the basilisk was going to devour Regina there at one point. That was one thing that I was hoping that we would see. Maybe Regina get swallowed whole, but it never happened. So that's unfortunate.
So if we did play these characters again, Doug, I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that James has connected any dots throughout this journey we've been on together?
James, however, it's a different story.
James is still, he's just like, wow, this guy looks good for like 300 years old.
Didn't I give James a little clue though at the when we were on the trail and I tried to let him know?
I was kind of trying to avoid that conflict because it would have sent the whole thing south.
So Hook, Peter Pan.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
we got it.
Yeah.
Just wondering if there's any other.
Good.
All right.
Was...
Thank you, Doug, for running this for us. And thank you to the creators
Thank you
for
all.
creating this amazing game for us to play.
Yes, super fun. If you haven't already check out the Red Hood session that we did. Again, all these sessions are kind of fairy tales that are flipped over, and they kind of have like a unique twist to them where the good guys usually aren't the good guys as much, and the bad guys are just kind of misunderstood, and they need to go out and help solve what's going on. I could see this kind of being kind of like a fairy tale Vesson situation. It'd be kind of neat to use this kind of setting with the Vesson rules a little bit too. If you wanted to if you were really well versed in Vesson, I think you could kind of tweak it for this setting. Not that there's anything wrong with the rules that are provided here, but I'm just saying if you like those types of games where it's kind of a mystery and you're trying to figure things out, this is definitely along those lines, and you should check it out. And like I said, go check it, pick it up. The link is in the description of this video if you're in the US. If you're in Europe, World Anvil has their own web store, and right now they're doing a holiday sale where I think you get like an exclusive PDF that's usually only available during a limited time. So go check that out in their web store. I think I got an email on that earlier today. And yeah, if you like this session, again, please let us know. If you have a favorite fairy tale that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. And I want to thank everyone for joining us. Remember, winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Oh.